How are you guys doing? Today is Friday, August 27th, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Thursday, August 26th. And of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Starting in Baltimore, the Baltimore Orioles hosted the LA Angels in the MLB, the only active league in its regular season in America right now. In this matchup, the Orioles would beat the Angels 13-1 at home after scoring 6 runs in the fifth, and they scored an additional 5 runs in the 8th inning alone after the Angels scored the first run of the game in the top of the first. For the Los Angeles Angels in this matchup, the start would go to Jaime Barria. Barria would allow 1 earned run in 3.1 innings pitched as he was taken out in the 4th. He would strike out 2 batters. The loss was given to the Angels' second relief pitcher on the day, Elvis Guerrero. Sorry if I butchered the name. With this loss, he's now 0-1 on the season. He would allow 5 earned runs in 0.2 innings pitched as he was unable to pitch the entirety of the fourth inning, the 5th inning. He would go on to walk 3 batters, and in the Angels batting lineup, their all-star designated hitter Shohei Ohtani would end up going 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run. He would hit his 41st home run of the season. For the Baltimore Orioles, the start was given to their starting pitcher Keegan Akin. The win was given to Keegan Akin. He allowed 1 earned run in 7 innings pitched as he allowed 3 hits in that span. He struck out 6 batters. With this win, Keegan Akin is 1-8 on the season. In the Orioles batting lineup, their first baseman Ryan Mountcastle went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Their designated hitter Trey Mancini went 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Their pinch hitting left fielder Austin Hayes would end up going 2 for 2 with 2 runs for himself. Their shortstop Ramon Urias will go 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. And then their catcher Pedro Severino went 2 for 5 with 6 RBIs and a run. He would hit his 10th home run of the season. With this win, the Baltimore Orioles are now 40-86. That is currently the worst record in the American League, and that is actually the worst record in all of baseball at the moment. They are the last team in baseball to cross the 40-win threshold, as they have now won their last 2 games. They've won 2 of their last 10. They currently trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 38.5 games in the division, just to give a sense of what the gap is between the best and worst teams in the American League. With this loss, the Los Angeles Angels are now 63-66. That is the 4th best record in the American League West. They've lost their last 2 games. They've lost 6 of their last 10, and they now trail the Houston Astros by 13 games in the division. Jumping out to Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewers, who lead the NL Central, hosted the Reds, who are holding on to that second spot. The Reds were able to beat the Brewers 5-1 as they scored all 5 of their runs before the Brewers could score their lone run in the 7th. For the Brewers, the loss was given to their starting pitcher for the day, Brett Anderson. Brett Anderson allowed 3 earned runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 3 batters in the first 4 innings of the game. With this loss, like I said, he's 4-8. In the Brewers batting lineup, their right fielder, Abisail Garcia, will go 2 for 4 on the day. He was the only player on the Brewers with more than 1 hit. For Cincinnati, the win was given to their starting pitcher, Sonny Gray. Gray allowed no earned runs as he struck out 6 in the first 6 innings of the game. With this win, he's now 6-6. In the Reds batting lineup, their rookie second baseman, Jonathan India, went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. He would hit his 17th home run of the season. He was the only player on the Reds with more than 1 hit. With this win, the Cincinnati Reds are now 70-59. That is the 2nd best record in the National League Central, as they are the 4th team in the National League to cross the 70-win threshold. They've won 6 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 8.5 games in the division, and they are the sole holders of the 2nd National League wildcard spot, sitting 11.5 games behind the first place LA Dodgers, and they sit 2 games ahead of the San Diego Padres, who are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Milwaukee Brewers are now 78-50. That is the best record in the National League Central. They've lost 3 of their last 10 games. They sit 8.5 games ahead of the second place Cincinnati Reds in their division, and they are holding on to the second seed in the National League playoff picture, sitting behind the San Francisco Giants, holding on to the number 1 seed out west, and sitting ahead of the Atlanta Braves, holding on to the number 3 seed out east. Jumping out to Toronto, the Toronto Blue Jays hosted the Chicago White Sox, and in this matchup, the White Sox would beat the Blue Jays 10-7 to assert their lead over the American League Central. For the Toronto Blue Jays, the loss was given to their elite starting pitcher Hyunjin Ryu. Ryu allowed 7 earned runs as he was subbed out in the 4th inning. He pitched 3.2 innings as he struck out 4 batters. With this loss, Ryu is 12-7 on the year. In the Blue Jays batting lineup, their all-star second baseman Marcus Semien would end up going 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. He would hit his 31st and 32nd home runs of the year. Their elite first baseman Vlad Guerrero Jr. would go 2 for 5. And for Chicago, the win was given to their starting pitcher Carlos Rodon. He allowed 2 earned runs in the first 5 innings of the game as he struck out 3. With his win, Rodon is 10-5 on the year. The save was given to the White Sox elite closer Craig Kimbrell. He allowed no earned runs in the 9th inning as he struck out 1 batter. With this save, he now is 24 on the year. In the White Sox batting lineup, their elite shortstop Tim Anderson went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Tim Anderson would, like I said, he had a good game for himself. Their second baseman Cesar Hernandez went 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs. Their elite designated hitter and the reigning American League MVP Jose Abreu went 1 for 5 with an RBI and a run as he would go on to hit his 27th home run of the season. And then their third baseman Leury Garcia went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. With this win, the Chicago White Sox are now 74-55. That is the best record in the American League Central. They've won 5 of their last 10 games as they sit 9 games ahead of the second place Cleveland Indians in their division. They're holding on to the 3rd seed in the American League playoff picture as they trail the 1 seed Tampa Bay Rays out east and the 2nd seed Houston Astros out west. With this loss, the Toronto Blue Jays are now 66-60. That is the 4th best record in the American League East. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 12.5 games in their own division. Jumping out to Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Pirates hosted the St. Louis Cardinals from within their own division. The Pirates were able to pull off an 11-7 win. The Cardinals would score all 7 of their runs in the first 3 innings of the game. They were leading 7-1 at one point in the game. They would go into the 7th inning, leading 7-3, and the Pirates would score 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th to come from behind and pick up a very big win at home. This would be win number 47 for them. For St. Louis, the start was given to Miles Michaelis. He allowed 3 earned runs in 4.1 innings pitched as he struck out 3. The loss was given to the Cardinals' 3rd relief pitcher on the day, Genesis Cabrera. He would allow 6 earned runs as he was not able to log an out. He would take the mound in the 7th inning, he would pick up his 3rd blown save of the season. And with this loss, he's now 2-5 on the year. In the Cardinals' batting lineup, their second baseman Tommy Edman went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Their shortstop Edmundo Sosa went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. And then their elite third baseman Nolan Arenado would go 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. He would hit his 26th home run of the season. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, the start was given to Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller would allow 7 earned runs in 5.1 innings pitched. He would strike out 2 batters on the day. The win was given to the Pirates' second relief pitcher on the day, Chad Kuhl. Kuhl allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched as he pitched the entire 7th inning. With this win, he's now 4-6 on the year. In the Pirates batting lineup, their second baseman Michael Chavis would end up going 4 for 5 on the day with 2 runs. Their first baseman Colin Moran went 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 7th home run of the season. Their third baseman Wilmer Defoe would end up going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Their right fielder Gregory Polanco would go 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. And with this win, the Pittsburgh Pirates are now 47-81. That is the worst record in the National League Central, as they've won 5 of their last 10 games. They now trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 31 games in the division. They have the second worst record in the National League as a whole, just to give a sense of where they sit. With this loss, the St. Louis Cardinals are now 64-62. That is the third best record in the National League Central, as they've lost 6 of their last 10. They now trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 13 games in the division. They now trail the Cincinnati Reds by 4.5 games for that second National League wildcard spot. They are the second team on the outside looking in, as they only trail the San Diego Padres in that race. Jumping out to Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Phillies hosted the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks were able to beat the Phillies 8-7, as they're able to continue a little bit of their hot streak. As the Phillies were able to score 5 runs in the 9th inning, it wouldn't be enough, as the Diamondbacks put up 15 hits as a team. For Philadelphia, the loss was given to their starting pitcher, Matt Moore. Matt Moore allowed 4 earned runs in 4 innings pitched, as he struck out 2. With this loss, he's 2-4 on the season. In the Phillies batting lineup, their second baseman, Gene Segura, went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. He hit his 9th home run of the season. Their elite right fielder, Bryce Harper, would go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, as both of his hits were doubles. Their shortstop, Didi Gregorius, would also go 2 for 5, as he would finish with 2 RBIs on the day. And for Arizona, the win was given to their elite starting pitcher, Zach Gallen. Gallen allowed 2 runs in 5 innings pitched, as he struck out 6. With this win, Gallen is 2-7 on the season. The save was given to the Diamondbacks closer for the day, Noe Ramirez. Ramirez would allow 1 run in .1 inning pitched, as he would log the last out of the game, a strikeout. He would pick up his first save of the season. In the Diamondbacks batting lineup, their third baseman, Abdul Cabrera, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Their catcher, Carson Kelly, would end up going 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a run, as Kelly hit his 10th home run of the season. Their first baseman, Christian Walker, would end up going 4 for 4 with a run. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks second baseman, Drew Ellis, would end up going 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. With this win, the Arizona Diamondbacks are now 44-85. That is the worst record in the National League West, and that is the worst record in the National League. However, that is no longer the worst record in all of baseball. They've won their last 2 games. They won 6 of their last 10, and they now trail the San Francisco Giants by 40 games in the division. That is the gap in the National League between the best and the worst teams. With this loss, the Philadelphia Phillies are now 63-64. That is the second best record in the National League East. They've lost their last 3 games, and they've lost 8 of their last 10. They currently trail the Atlanta Braves by 5.5 games in the division, and right now that's where they sit. Jumping out to Queens, the New York Mets hosted the San Francisco Giants, and the Giants showed the Mets why they had the best record in baseball. After the Mets would tie the game at 2 in the bottom of the 6th, it would be a RBI single from Darren Ruff to give the Giants what they needed for the win. For the New York Mets, the start was given to Carlos Carrasco. Carrasco allowed 2 earned runs off of 3 hits in the first 7 innings of the game, as he struck out 5. The loss was given to the Mets' first relief pitcher on the day, Seth Lugo. Lugo allowed 1 earned run in the 8th inning, as he was unable to register an out. He allowed 2 hits. With this loss, he's 3-2 on the year. In the Mets batting lineup, their center fielder, Brandon Nimmo, went 3 for 5. Their elite second baseman, Javier Baez, went 2 for 4 with a run. Their elite first baseman, Pete Alonso, went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, as he hit his 29th home run of the season. And for San Francisco, the start went to Alex Wood. He allowed 2 earned runs in 5.1 innings pitched, as he struck out 5. The win was given to the Giants' first relief pitcher, Harleen Garcia. He allowed 1 earned run in 1.2 innings pitched, as he would finish out the 6th and 7th innings. He would strike out 2 batters, and with this win, he's now 5-3 on the season. The save was given to the Giants closer, Tyler Rogers. Rogers allowed no earned runs in the 9th inning as he picked up his 12th save of the season. In the Giants batting lineup, their center fielder, Mike Yastrzemski, was the only player with more than 1 hit. He went 2 for 4 with a run. Additionally, their elite third baseman, Chris Bryant, went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 24th home run of the season. With this win, the San Francisco Giants are now 83-44. That is the best record in the National League West. They've won their last 5 games, and they've won 8 of their last 10 as they sit 2.5 games ahead of the second place, defending World Series champions LA Dodgers in their division, and they're holding on to the number 1 seed in the National League as they have the best record in all of baseball. They are sitting ahead of the 2nd seed Milwaukee Brewers of the Central, and they are sitting ahead of the 3rd seed Atlanta Braves out east. With this loss, the New York Mets are now 61-66. That is the 3rd best record in the National League East. They've lost their last 3 games, and they've lost 8 of their last 10. They currently trail the Atlanta Braves by 7.5 games in the division. Jumping out to Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians hosted the Texas Rangers, and the Indians would pull off a 10-6 win after a couple of 4-run innings, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 4th. After the Rangers would tie the game up at 4, by the way, in the 2nd and 3rd innings. But regardless, for Texas, the start and loss were given to Jordan Lyles. Lyles allowed 8 earned runs in 3.2 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this loss, Lyles is 6-11 on the season. In the Rangers batting lineup, their designated hitter, Andy Ibanez, would end up going 2 for 5 with a run. Their left fielder, DJ Peters, would end up going 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs. He hit his 6th home run of the season. Their catcher, Jose Trevino, would end up going 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. Their second baseman, Nick Solak, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run, or with 2 RBIs and a run, as he hit his 10th home run of the season. And for the Cleveland Indians, the start was given to Sam Hentges. Hentges allowed 4 runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 3. The win was given to the Indians' first relief pitcher, Trevor Stephan. Stephan allowed 1 earned run in 2.2 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this win, he's now 3-0 on the season. In Cleveland's batting lineup, their elite third baseman, Jose Ramirez, would end up going 2 for 3 with an RBI and 3 runs. Their designated hitter, Franmil Reyes, went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. Their right fielder, Bradley Zimmer, would go 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a run as he hit his 6th home run of the season. Their first baseman, Owen Miller, went 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. He hit his 3rd home run of the season. And then their left fielder, Daniel Johnson, would go 2 for 4 with a run. With this win, the Cleveland Indians are now 63-62. That is the 2nd best record in the American League Central. They've won their last 2 games, and they've won 7 of their last 10. They currently trail the Chicago White Sox by 9 games in the division. And with this loss, the Texas Rangers are now 44-83. That is the worst record in the American League West, and that is the 2nd worst record in the American League. They've lost their last 2 games, and they've lost 7 of their last 10. They currently trail the Houston Astros by 31 games in the division. Jumping out to Boston, the Red Sox hosted the Minnesota Twins and were able to pull off a 12-2 home win, and they would give Chris Sale his 3rd win of the season. For the Minnesota Twins, the start and the loss were given to John Gant. John Gant allowed 4 earned runs in the first 4 innings of the game as he struck out 3. With his loss, he's 4-8 on the season. In the Twins batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit, and that would be attributed to great pitching from Boston. For Boston, the start and win went to their elite starting pitcher, Chris Sale. Sale allowed 2 earned runs in 5.1 innings pitched as he struck out 8 batters. With this win, he's now 3-0 on the season. In the Red Sox batting lineup, their all-star third baseman, Rafael Devers, went 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a run. He would hit his 30th home run of the season yesterday. Also, their first baseman, Bobby Dalbec, would go 3 for 4 with 7 RBIs and 3 runs. He would hit his 15th and 16th home runs of the season yesterday. With this win, the Boston Red Sox are now 73-56. That is the third best record in the American League East. They've won 5 of their last 10 games. They now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 7 games in the division, and they are holding on to the second American League wildcard spot, sitting 3 games behind the first place New York Yankees, and they sit 2.5 games ahead of the Oakland Athletics, who are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Minnesota Twins are now 55-72. That is the worst record in the American League Central. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games, and they now trail the Chicago White Sox by 18 games in the division. Jumping out to Miami, the Miami Marlins hosted the Washington Nationals, and the Marlins were able to pull off a 7-5 win at home after putting up 6 of their 7 in the first 2 innings of the game. For the Nationals, the loss was given to their starting pitcher, Patrick Corbin. Corbin allowed 6 earned runs in the first 3 innings of the game as he struck out 3. With this loss, he's now 7-13 on the season. In the Nationals batting lineup, however, their shortstop Alcides Escobar would end up going 2 for 5 with 2 runs on the day. Their first baseman Josh Bell went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Their third baseman Carter Kieboom went 2 for 4 with a run, and then their second baseman Luis Garcia would end up going 2 for 4 on the day. For the Miami Marlins, the start and the win were given to Elise Hernandez. He allowed 2 runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this win, he's now 1-1 on the season, and the save was given to Dylan Floro. Floro allowed no earned runs in .1 inning pitched as he finished out the 9th. He picked up his 6th save of the year. In the Marlins batting lineup, their third baseman Brian Anderson went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run. Additionally, their catcher Jorge Alfaro went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. He hit his 4th home run of the season, and then their left fielder Brian De La Cruz went 3 for 4 with a run. With this win, the Miami Marlins are now 53-75. That is the worst record in the National League East as they've won their last 2 games. They've won 2 of their last 10. They trail the Atlanta Braves by 16 games in the division. With this loss, the Washington Nationals are now 54-72. That is the 4th best record in the National League East as they've lost their last 2 games and they've lost 6 of their last 10. They currently trail the Atlanta Braves by 14 games in the division. Jumping out to San Diego, the San Diego Padres hosted the defending World Series champs LA Dodgers, and the Dodgers shut the Padres out at home, holding the Padres to only 3 hits all game. For the San Diego Padres, the start and the loss went to their elite starting pitcher, Yu Darvish. He allowed 4 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 6. With this loss, Yu Darvish is 7-8 on the season. In the Padres batting lineup, nobody on the team finished with more than 1 hit, and that would be attributed to great pitching from LA. For the Dodgers, the start and the win went to their goated starting pitcher, Max Scherzer. Scherzer allowed no earned runs in 7.2 innings pitched. He allowed only 2 hits and 1 walk as he struck out 10. With this win, he's now 12-4 on the season. And in the Dodgers batting lineup, their left fielder, A.J. Pollock, went 2 for 4 with a run. He was the only player on the team with more than 1 hit. With this win, the Los Angeles Dodgers are now 81-47. That is the 2nd best record in the National League West. They've won their last 3 games, and they've won 9 of their last 10. They trail the San Francisco Giants by 2.5 games in the division for that title, and they are holding on comfortably to that first National League wildcard spot, sitting 11.5 games ahead of the second-place Cincinnati Reds, who are holding on to that second spot. With this loss, the San Diego Padres are now 68-61. That is the 3rd best record in the National League West. They've lost their last 4 games, and they've lost 8 of their last 10. They currently trail the San Francisco Giants by 16 games in the division, and they sit 2 games behind the Cincinnati Reds for that second spot in the National League wildcard race. Jumping out to Oakland, the Oakland Athletics hosted the New York Yankees, and the Yankees were able to beat the Athletics 7-6. This game would be tied until the top of the 9th, where Aaron Judge's RBI single would give the Yankees their 7th run, the run they needed for win number 75. For the Oakland Athletics, the start went to James Kaprielian. He allowed 6 earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 8 on the day. The loss was given to the Oakland A's setup relief pitcher, Lou Trevino. Lou Trevino would go on to allow 1 earned run in .2 innings pitched as he started out the 9th. With this loss, he's 5-7 on the season, and in the A's batting lineup, their left fielder, Josh Harrison, would end up going 2-for-4 with an RBI and 2 runs. He would hit his 8th home run of the season. Their elite third baseman, Matt Chapman, went 2-for-2 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 20th home run of the season. And for the New York Yankees, they start with the Jameson Taillon. He allowed 5 earned runs in 3.2 innings pitched as he struck out 4. The win was given to the Yankees setup relief pitcher Jonathan Loaisiga. Loaisiga allowed no earned runs in 2 innings pitched as he pitched the 7th and 8th innings for New York. He struck out 2 batters. With this win, Loaisiga is 9-4 on the season, and the save was given to the Yankees closer, Aroldis Chapman. Chapman allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 1 batter. He picked up his 24th save of the year. In the Yankees batting lineup, their elite right fielder, Aaron Judge, went 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run. Their left fielder, Joey Gallo, would go 1-for-3 with 3 RBIs and a run as he hit his 30th home run of the season. Additionally, their elite designated hitter, Giancarlo Stanton, went 1-for-4 with an RBI and a run as he hit his 23rd home run of the season. With this win, the New York Yankees are now 75-52. That is the second best record in the American League East. They have the league's best winning streak as they've won their last 12 games. And with this 12-game winning streak, they now sit 4 games behind the second-place Tampa Bay Rays in the division as they are holding on to the first American League wildcard spot, sitting 3 games ahead of the second-place Boston Red Sox. With this loss, the Oakland Athletics are now 70-58. That is the second best record in the American League West. They've lost their last 5 games and they've lost 8 of their last 10. They trail the Houston Astros by 5.5 games in the division, and they trail the Boston Red Sox by 2.5 games for that second American League wildcard spot. Last but not least, jumping out to Seattle, the Seattle Mariners hosted the Kansas City Royals, and the Royals were able to pull off a 6-4 win on the road, scoring all 6 of their runs in the 6th and 7th inning after Seattle scored all 4 of theirs. For the Mariners, the start went to Yusei Kikuchi, their all-star. He allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he would go on to strike out 3 batters. The loss for Seattle went to Joe Smith, their first relief pitcher. He allowed 1 earned run in the 6th inning as he struck out 1. He picked up his first blown save of the year, and with this loss, he's now 2-2. In the Mariners batting lineup, their third baseman, Kyle Seager, went 2-for-5 with an RBI and 2 runs. He hit his 30th home run of the season. Their second baseman, Abraham Toro, went 2-for-4 with a run. Their left fielder, Jake Fraley, went 2-for-3 with 3 RBIs and a run for himself. He hit his 9th home run of the season. And for Kansas City, the start was given to Brad Keller. Keller allowed 2 earned runs in 4.1 innings pitched as he struck out 3. The win was given to the Royals setup relief pitcher Ervin Santana. Santana would allowed no earned runs in 2 innings pitched as he struck out 2, pitching the entire 7th and 8th innings. The save, however, would go to Scott Barlow. Barlow pitched the entire 9th inning and picked up his 9th save. And in the Royals batting lineup, no one on the team would finish with more than 1 hit. Their elite catcher, Salvador Perez, would end up going 1-for-4 with 4 RBIs and a run. He would hit a grand slam in the top of the 6th inning. That would give the Royals the lead in the first place. He hit his 35th home run of the season. With this win, the Kansas City Royals are now 57-70. That is the 4th best record in the American League Central. They've won 7 of their last 10, and they now sit 16 games behind the Chicago White Sox in the division. With this loss, the Seattle Mariners are now 69-59. That is the 3rd best record in the American League West as they've lost 4 of their last 10. They now trail the Houston Astros by 6.5 games in the division, and they now sit 3.5 games behind the Boston Red Sox for that second American League wildcard spot. Right now, that is what the MLB is looking like following yesterday's matchups as it leads into today. And, of course, starting from the very top because, of course, today is Friday at 7:05. Aaron Nola and the Philadelphia Phillies are going to host Taylor Widener and the Arizona Diamondbacks. At the same time, at 7:05, Dylan Peters and the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to host J.A. Happ and the St. Louis Cardinals. At the same time, at 7:05, Matt Harvey and the Baltimore Orioles are going to host Shane McClanahan and the Tampa Bay Rays. Shane McClanahan enters his matchup with an 8-4 record, holding a 3.63 ERA. At 7:10, Logan Allen and the Cleveland Indians are going to host Eduardo Rodriguez and the Boston Red Sox. At the same time, at 7:10, Zach Thompson and the Miami Marlins are going to host Wade Miley and the Cincinnati Reds. Wade Miley is holding a 10-4 record alongside a 2.88 ERA. Zach Thompson takes his home mound in Lone Depot Park with a 2-5 record, holding a 2.97 ERA. At the same time, at 7:10, Matt Manning and the Detroit Tigers are going to host Steven Matz and the Toronto Blue Jays. Matz enters his matchup with a 10-7 record, holding a 3.94 ERA. At the same time, at 7:10, Rich Hill and the New York Mets are going to host Paolo Espino and the Washington Nats. At 8:05 on ESPN Plus, Glenn Otto and the Texas Rangers are going to host Jake Odorizzi and the Houston Astros. At 8:10, the Chicago White Sox, led by their elite starting pitcher Dallas Keuchel, are going to host Keegan Thompson in what's going to in a Chicago series. So that's going to be well anticipated, well watched. At 8:10, Andrew Albers and the Minnesota Twins are going to host Eric Lauer and the Milwaukee Brewers. Lauer enters his matchup with a 4-4 record, holding a 3.59 ERA. At 9:38, the LA Angels are going to host the San Diego Padres in this interleague matchup, as Joe Musgrove will take the mound for San Diego. He comes into this matchup holding an 8-8 record, holding alongside a 3.04 ERA. At 9:40, Sean Manaea is going to take the mound for Oakland as they host the New York Yankees, led by their elite starting pitcher Garrett Cole. Cole enters his matchup with a 12-6 record, holding a 2.92 ERA. Sean Manaea enters his matchup with an 8-8 record, holding a 3.77 ERA. At 10:10, the defending World Series champs, LA Dodgers, are going to host the Colorado Rockies as the Rockies send out Kyle Freeland. And then at 10:10, Logan Gilbert and the Seattle Mariners are going to host Chris Bubich in the Kansas City Royals. Taking a look at what's going on outside the continent, the only Europa League qualifying matchup that I think was really noteworthy was that Tottenham was able to beat Pacos de Ferreira, a Portuguese team, 3-0 today, as two of their goals came from their elite English striker, Harry Kane, for them to advance to the next round of Europa League. Looking forward to what's going on today. The soccer is slowly advancing into the weekend. The only big team that is really playing today that is of note is Borussia Dortmund. They're going to face off against TSG Hoffenheim. Dortmund are looking at the Bundesliga. Wolfsburg is the only team that won their first two games, so Dortmund won and lost their first two games, so a win will go a long way. Hoffenheim is one of the teams that's tied for second, so Hoffenheim is actually sitting ahead of Borussia Dortmund right now, so this could be a very contentious matchup between the two, but of course, we can only go through soccer one day at a time, and that's just the show. That is the elite. Once again, today is Friday, August 27th. I want to thank the MLB and FIFA websites. I definitely want to thank everyone for listening to this piece. And of course, I apologize for all the names that I butchered because I eventually hope to get them all right. And with that said, I want to thank everyone for listening to this piece. I hope all is well. And peace out. I'll catch you guys with another episode after this tomorrow.